Okay. I think we're good now. We're good. So I want to just manually stream because hold on, guys. I'm trying. This was terrible. Okay, I think this is better. I think we're good now. We're good. Yes, this is better. Thank you, sir. Sorry, guys. Thank you for putting up with me. This is way better. It was, the echo was, if you were on YouTube, you would run. If you're on YouTube, you will run because the echo was terrible. It just kept on, wow, wow, wow. I don't know what I did. I don't know if I did not do the settings well, but we are good to go now. All right. So guys, where did I stop? Where did I stop? Where did I stop? I don't like this, but we have to manage this. I don't know. The settings is just terrible. I don't like it, but we have to manage it. Okay, who is a virtual assistant? So I was saying that, a lot of people have these conceptions of who a virtual assistant is, and they just feel, okay, it is one big conversation that we're going to have. But no, see, definitely, virtual assistants, for me, the way I define it, I had a lecture, was it yesterday, and they asked me, how would you define virtual assistant? And I was telling them that, to me, I'll define virtual assistant as anyone out there with a skill and a service to offer, a skill and a professional service to offer, who is an independent contractor and who is working from home. I hope you're able to understand that definition. Like, that's the best definition you can actually get anywhere. That's the best definition you get anywhere. A virtual assistant, for me, is an independent contractor who has skills and services to offer, and who works with clients remotely. That's from the comfort of his or her home. Now, you might think that for virtual assistants, it's only administrative tasks that they offer. No. Now, the reason that brings me back to my definition of who and what a virtual assistant is. That brings me back to that definition, because once you have a skill such as, tech, that's product management, data analysis, Django, UI, UX, and you work, or even you're a gamer, you work with a gaming firm, you run services for them online, and you work remotely from the comfort of your home as an independent contractor. To these said people, you are a virtual assistant. So it is more than administrative tasks. Virtual assistant has grown more than the space where we think it is secretariat study, or it's only for secretaries, for people who know how to write, people who know how to read meetings, write meetings, who know how to transcribe. No, it has grown. It has grown. So the thing now is, from that definition, I hope you've been able to understand that you as virtual assistant, or you thinking that you want to be a virtual assistant, you imagining into going into virtual assistant, you might be wondering, like, what can I do? Oh, is it just for administrative? No, they are different. And when I was introducing myself, I said, my name is Patience Smyrn. I'm a virtual assistant. I've been a virtual assistant for 5 years, and I do services. I offer services such as administrative tasks. I do project management. I do human resource. I also do digital live streaming, and I'm also a dance instructor. And now the dance aside, but those 4 things, when I started off as an administrative service person and social media. So I grew into digital marketing, Yes, and from digital marketing, I did my MSc in human resource, and then I imputed the human resource into virtual assistant. And I also went about to learn project management. So I am also a project manager, virtual assistant. So it is not just boil them into one. You don't need to, streamline yourself or put yourself in a box. You don't need to. So today we'll be talking about, the definition and the role of virtual assistant, the benefits, the common tasks and area of expertise, how to set up your virtual assistant business. That's how to identify your niche and services, how to build an online presence, how to set up your rates, how to what is time management. I might not really go into that, but I promise you that after this event, I'm going to set up a group where, as every week I'll be teaching on a new topic. So this week I could teach on time management as a skill of virtual assistant. Next week I can teach on email management, but I assure you that I would be teaching every week or every 2 weeks something new that will help you in your journey as a virtual assistant. And I'm not going to really be teaching, going deep down. I'll just be giving you the basics thing that you need to know as a virtual assistant. And if you really are really interested, you can now sign in for my private course. I have a course that I train for just the sum of 30,000 naira, on the old virtual assistant course. I have the one for 70,000 where I also deep down really teach you on niches that you can offer, the services that you cannot offer. And then I have a group that I also provide, virtual assistant jobs too. So if you want that package, if you want that group, you have to pay to, join in. But for now, I just said, let me give you all the basics for the course. So let's just go into it. Now, what is a virtual assistant? And I've defined what a virtual assistant is. And I said that I explained that a virtual assistant is a professional who provide administrative, who provide creative, who provide technical services to clients remotely. That's why I defined it as someone that has a skill and service to offer. So it might not just be administrative. It could be creative, that you could see content creators, you could see graphic designers, motion designers, as virtual assistants. So technical, you could see UI, UX, web designers, product managers, data analysts as virtual assistants. So but the basic thing is they're independent contractors, they are freelancers, and they work on either contractual basics, or they can work per the hour, they could work as retainers. So it is the one that you're comfortable to. If you're into if you enter into my course, I'll be able to explain and break down all those basics, all this, form of services and payments and everything for you. And also, like I said, they work independently. They use technologies to communicate, to collaborate with other virtual assistants. And they also operate in a wide range of industry, and they offer different niches. And that's the beauty of being a virtual assistant. Now, you may be wondering, what are the benefits of being a virtual assistant? The first one is time efficiency. Time efficiency. So as a virtual assistant, you can offer services, that allow you and your clients to work with time. So you can, the basic idea of virtual assistant is to free up the time. Is to free up time for your clients. That's the idea. The idea is for you as a virtual assistant is to give your clients time to unwind, time to do something beautiful, or even look for more clients, to bring into the business. So these CEOs, executive, entrepreneurs, startup, whoever they are, whoever you are working with, can actually, focus on their core business activities while you take up some of those tasks of them. Also, we are cost efficient. So a lot of people will be wondering, it might be expensive to hire a virtual assistant, but it is not. Because if you have a 9-to-5 business, and in that 9-to-5, you have to employ a cleaner, you employ an HR person, you employ an admin person, you employ, different people in different departments. You pay them their salary, you pay them an HMO, you pay them what's that thing again? what's that gratuity? You pay them gratuity and all those things. The money actually expands. It's too much. But for a virtual assistant, you don't need to pay all those things. And you don't even need to hire us as full-time. Do you understand? So we are affordable. And we're better than hiring a full-time client any day, anytime. Do you understand? We're better than getting you're better at getting a virtual assistant than getting a full-time employer, because we work remotely. We pay us when we are done with the business. Do you understand? You pay when you're done with the business. Also, you can actually pick people in this, you can pick people in their expertise. That's people who have niched down. So instead of you getting just those random people, plenty of them, like pack them into your company, what you need to do is just pick people who are knowledge-based, who you really need at that time, who you really need to work with at that time, and you work with them. That is one of the benefits of hiring a virtual assistant. And you as a virtual assistant, that is for you, that's a benefit of even being a virtual assistant. So if you want to work from home, if you want to be your own boss, if you want to just niche down, you don't want to study everything or know everything, you just want to niche down, and you want to get the best out of life, like travel and still work while you travel, being a virtual assistant is your best bet. I can assure you that being a virtual assistant is your best bet. Now, what are the common tasks and areas of expertise that, as a virtual assistant, you might want to have? And I've mentioned administrative services, creative, technical. So for administrative support, you can do things like email management, scheduling, data entry, transcription services, writing meeting, calendar management, booking flights, and the rest. The list is it goes on and on. So as a virtual assistant, you can offer this administrative support. You can actually even become a social media manager, a marketer. So you can be responsible. You can be responsible for, managing social media pages for clients, social media engagements, content creation, online presence maintenance, and even you can even go as far and say, okay, you know what? This is what I want to do. I also want to not just create content. I don't just want to manage Facebook. You can even manage WhatsApp. Yes, I'm also being paid to manage WhatsApp and Telegram for clients. So you can do all that as a virtual assistant. You can also be a community customer service person. You can handle customer calls, manage online chats, provide support to businesses. You can do research analysis. You can mention, you can do research, you can conduct analysis, you can do data collection, you can do computer analysis for clients. You can even have specialized skills, like I said, web development, is it graphic design, is it coding, is it motion designer? So you can do all that as a virtual assistant. You can do all that as a virtual assistant without anyone stopping you, and you are still doing all that from the comfort of your home. Do you understand? I hope somebody's following me. I hope you're following me. Please, if you have questions, do not hesitate. So ask these questions away. So you can do all that as a virtual assistant. Do you understand? You can do all that as a virtual assistant. All right. So the next thing I'll be discussing now with you all is we're going to be talking about how to set up your virtual assistant business. So in the next 15 minutes or so, we have 15 minutes here about, I'll be teaching you on how to identify your niche, how to build an online presence, how to set rate. If you really want to know more, like I said, there is also a paid course where I take my time and take you down what you need to know. So setting up a virtual assistant business, how do you go about it? It might be difficult, to set up, and you might be finding it difficult. I'm like, oh God, are you sure that I can undo this? Are you sure I can do this? Or is it not going to be stressful? It's not going to be, a big deal. But then again, I'm telling you that it is not actually. It is not. It is. I'm not saying it's super easy. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's super easy to set up a business, a virtual assistant business. But at the same time, I'm saying that it's something that you can do. So the first thing I need you to understand here is you need to identify your niche and services. Now, what do I mean by identifying your niche and services? You need to focus on something that you're really, really good at. And that's you finding, that's you doing a self-assessment of yourself. So it's not a big deal. It's not a bad thing to say you want to start up as a administrative person. I've had people who I've trained over the years, and I've trained them, and after training them, they'll be like, okay, oh, coach, what can I offer? What can I do for now? And I'm like, oh, if you're good, you can start up with admin. And they started up with admin, and they started growing, to learn other things. So the thing that you need to do first is focus on what services you want to offer. Focus on a specific industry. Focus on an area of expertise. And once you do that, it will help you stand out. It will help you attract clients easily. Because at that point in time, you already know what you want. So we're going to be having a break. And in that break, I would like you to self-assess yourself. I want you to evaluate your skills, your strengths, your interests, and I want you to determine what's the niche that is ideal for you. That means, what do you like to do? What do you like to do? Do you understand? What do you like to do? What would you love to do? What would you love to learn? What would you love to learn? Do you understand? What would you like to do? What would you love to learn? Do you get? So as someone who is willing to go into the field of virtual assistant, what is that thing that you would want to offer? What's that service that you want to offer? And what I'm trying to drive out of this thing is, when you specialize, it allows you to become an expert in that chosen area. It allows you to become an expert in that field. Do you understand? It allows you to become an expert in that area. So it is very important, to choose your niche. Like I've explained to you, my own niche, when I started, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I just wanted to become a human resource then. And so I was like, I want to do this. And even with that, I found out that I went into social media management. I went into business promotion. And from there, I went into digital marketing and admin. That's what I started with. And now I am a human resource person. I am also a digital live streamer, and I do project management. So I'm not saying that you're going to start off, but if you already have something that, that you already know how to do, you can just infuse it and start learning. But I'm here to tell you that specialization actually helps you differentiate yourself from everybody. And what most clients are looking for, they're looking for specific skills. There's some clients that will come to me and tell me, I need social media. Some clients will come, I need lead generation. Some will say, I just want transcription. And that transcription falls under admin. You understand? So in less than 2 minutes, I need you to do something for me. And I'm going to be unmuting the mic for you guys to talk. Or you can just, if you want to chat, just type it in the comment section. I will read it. Type it there, I will read it. I need you to identify your skills. Take stock of your skills. Where's that place where you have strength in? Where's that place that you have interest in? Where's that area that you excel? And I need you to write it out. Okay, Ayo says data entry, customer service, that's replying and responding, chats, email, etc. That's amazing. So you want to start up, Ayo, you want to start up as an administrative person first and offer. So you're starting up as an administrative person and you're offering services such as data entry, customer support, which is via mail or chat. So you can actually add email management to it. You can add image management to it, so which is perfect. And When did you discover this thing? It's because sometimes you might not get clients. Okay, I met a virtual assistant just like me. And she sent me a message and she said, hey, Pat, it's not been easy. I've not seen clients. And I'm like, yes, it happens. It happens to the best of us. It happens to the best of us. There's some times that you won't see clients and you want to give up. These skills that you have, this joy that you have to become a virtual assistant, why? Why do you have it? Can it stand the test of time? This passion you have to do data entry, to do email management, can it stand the test of time when you don't have clients? When all you see is, oh, come and volunteer for me without pay. Will you want to back down? So whatever skill or service you choose to offer, you must be motivated to do it. You must have the passion to do it. And you must also become very good at it, become an expert, so that you will be sought after. You need to build your own reputation. You need to gain knowledge. So you need to go and study more about even your data entry. Do you understand? You need to study more about it, because that's the only way you can actually stand the test of time during this period. Also, after that, now that you know what services you want to offer, the next thing is you want to introduce yourself to the online presence. You want to go online, because you cannot sit there in your house and make money. I tell people, as a virtual assistant, I shout it to the rooftop. I let everybody know. Everybody must know what I am about. So you must have an online presence. You must have it. So having a professional online presence is essential for attracting that client and for showcasing your skill. Now, when you have that online presence, you build it to attract people. You put content that talks about virtual assistant, data entry, email management, and the likes. I'm not saying that you go all out and go and start doing website now. No. If you don't have the money to do it now, you can pause. You can open Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and start using that as a space to sell yourself. But my emphasis today would be that you people should have an active social media profile and also create a professional email address for yourself. Because those are the 2 free things that you can do now: email and social media profile. And another thing is you need to maintain a cohesive brand image across all online platforms. So if you go on LinkedIn, it should be as good as your Instagram. It should be as good as your Twitter. It should be better on Facebook. And it should be the same color font, same logo, the same name. It should be the same everywhere. Do you understand? Now I'm going to be talking about setting your rates, setting your payment method on as a virtual assistant. So now setting your rate has to do with you. What of a personal email? All right, your personal email can still work. But if you really want to go into the business of virtual assistant, like I said, I actually have a course for it. It's another process I have to teach you. But this is just me telling you that you must have a professional email too that you can work with. And for we're going into the setting payments. Now, as a virtual assistant, you can collect payments according to your experience, according to your skill, according to the market demand, according to your competition, and your pricing, how you price, how you negotiate, how you influence your pricing. And you can also be paid hourly, project-based, retainership, which are almost the common option. And if you're working with clients abroad, it will be better to use, Some people can use bank transfer, some would say Payoneer, some would say Uphold, some would say Wise, but whatever platform that you're using, look for the online platform that is commonly used for, virtual businesses. It's not going to be easy to really find one that will work for you. But when you find one, for example, I make use of Payoneer. Sometimes Payoneer's head can actually be touching, but then again, once you have or get the hang of it, it can really, really work for you. And then you can be using it. So is there any questions? Now it's time for us to quickly go on a break before I talk about the essential skills for virtual assistants. And under that, I'll be talking about time management, organization tips, how to effectively communicate, how to be professional when you communicate, and some tools that you can use to communicate. So is there any questions? It's time for interaction. Let me unmute you if you want to talk. All right, so, okay, you're good for now. All right. Okay, so let's proceed. Now we're going to be talking about the essential skills for virtual assistants. What skills do you need? What skills as a virtual assistant do you need to have? I hope you guys are ready because I'm super excited to go into it. All right, so basically for virtual assistants, most of the things that people actually talk about is honesty, especially for Nigerians, how they don't really believe us that we'll do the work, we'll deliver, we'll take their money. So honesty is one of those things. Proactiveness is another. Creative mindset is another. Time management, organization tip is another. And effectively communicating is another. So as a virtual assistant, you need to develop efficient managing time management skills and organization skills, meaning that you need to know how to manage tasks and meet deadline. It is very crucial. So if a client comes in and say, I'm giving you a contract, I want you to do so, and I need it before this, you should be able to deliver. And if you cannot deliver, you should be able to do what? Have a clear communication with this client and tell this client that, I know you want me to submit this project to so time. Can you give me to so time to get back to you? Do you understand? Can you give me this time to get back to you? So always, for no reason, do not keep mute. You must not keep mute. Always communicate effectively and professionally with your client. So meeting deadline is very crucial. And also for time management, you need to know how to strategize. You need to know how to, to use tools that will help you to effectively, manage time. So there are different techniques that are out there. There is the Pomodoro technique. There is the to-do list. There is you creating, daily schedules. For me, I know people laugh at me when I teach, like I've already said it, I teach, a private course on virtual assistant. And I explain to them that there are techniques that I use for project management and those things. I use, apps that would help me. But my best app is always my notebook, guys. My best app is always my notebook. So this notebook actually helps me with my time. So whatever clients I get, I actually I Google, their time differences and I put it. After putting their time differences, everything that I need to do daily, I write it down. Funny, I could use one of the tools, the to-do tools online, but I don't know. I am more better. I really, really love to use my books because I love to write. And I remember things when I jot down. So for me, I go with my book, but you can find something that, you can use. And when you're working for these clients abroad, you have to use tools. So it is either the client provides you with their own tools. There are tools like Time Doctor, just the time tracking apps online. So the clients can actually provide you with theirs, or you can actually use yours. But whatever it is, look for a project management software that can aid you in staying organized. Another thing I mentioned is you need to communicate. So communication is key. I'm going to emphasize on this communication skills because it's key. As a virtual assistant, you need to have a clear and timely communication with your client, because once you do that, it fosters trust, it makes sure that there is a smooth, collaboration between you and the client. You need to be professional, so you can actually use emails. If you're your clients are gonna, okay, you already have a WhatsApp group that you guys have a conversation there, fine, it's fine. But if not, if you're using emails, make sure that it is professional, make sure that you're using the appropriate tone, make sure that whatever you're writing or saying is meeting the client's expectation. Do you understand? Make sure that it is meeting the client's expectation. Now, also, you might be wondering, what kind of tools can I use for my client? What kind of tools can I use for my clients? There are different ones. For example, if it is email platform, you can use, Slack. If it is video conferencing, you can use Zoom, you can use Google Meets, to communicate with the clients. If you want to probably send emails, like I said, okay, you can use emails, you can go down to WhatsApp. If it is project management tools, you can use Trello, you can use Slack for communication. If it is video, like I said, Google, Zoom, and the rest. If you want to increase your productivity with your clients, you can use those word processing. You can use Microsoft Offices, the word processing, PowerPoint, spreadsheet. So you can actually use the Google spreadsheet, or you use Excel. Either ways, look for something that you enjoy, you are okay with. So Microsoft Offices, Google Workspace, those tools are available for you to use, so you can make use of those ones. I'm going to be mentioning also, key administrative tasks that you can actually offer. I just want to really go down and, just give you everything you people need. And like Ayo mentioned, data entry, email management. So you can actually effectively handle emails for clients. So handling their emails, helps them to stay organized and responsive. So there's some people that I have a client of recent that I'm working with her as an admin person, and then she gave me a login details for her mail, and her mail was amazingly 20-something thousand. So I had to filter it, I had to clean it, because there's a course there. There's actually a course on email management, which I teach too, So what I did for her was I filtered it so that whenever she's having so and so, it goes to so and so. Whenever she's having this one, it goes to that one. And it's always okay to introduce an inbox zero for your clients. There's something called inbox zero. It's a concept. You need to introduce that to clients, or you yourself, you even need to have it as a virtual assistant, because mails will be coming in back and forth. So you need to know how to, maintain an empty and well-organized inbox. You also need to know how to use folders, filter, label, like I said, and you need to know how to prioritize emails. You need to also respond to emails promptly. See, one of the advice I always give you is, as a virtual assistant, or even as a working person, it's not even a virtual assistant, anybody that works. For me, I'm a Christian, so when I wake up, I do my morning devotion and prayer and everything. The next thing I do is, before I even stand up to go to the restroom or, do anything, I always check my inbox. It is my reflex, because most of the time I work with clients that are abroad. So that our own night is their own money. My own money is already getting to their night, some of them. So I like to check my emails, refresh my emails to know, okay, if there's something I'm supposed to do, take out my book as usual, write it down so that I don't forget what I'm responding to, and then go about my day before I come back to attend to them. Do you understand? So always check your inbox for a quick response, because they're anticipating your response. And I have a tool on my email that makes me know when someone has read my mail. So if I send a mail to you, Ayo, or I send a mail to you, Philip, or I send to you, Cynthia, I know that you have read it. I know when you read it. I know when you open it. I know if you do not respond. Do you understand? So there's these tools that are available for you to know all the things. There's another one called calendar management. So calendar management appointment schedule is for you to just help your clients maintain, have a well-maintained calendar, help them to, in time management, to when you work with the clients under that calendar management or appointment schedule, you make sure that you avoid schedule conflicts. So you work with the client to organize a calendar. Okay, on this day you're speaking here, on this day you're doing this one, you're meeting this one here, you're doing this one, this day. So it is like that. And you can use calendar tools like Google Calendar, Microsoft Outlook, and other apps that that you deem fit to use. For appointment is just the process of coordinating appointments, meetings, time zone for clients. So if your client has a meeting with someone in, or maybe a client is in California, has a meeting with another client in Nigeria, you're supposed to check out if it is WAT, CST, EST, check out the time schedule and organize the time for your clients. And it is always important to set reminders for important events and deadlines. So you might have meetings with clients. Always have your alarm with you. Always have your calendar with you to set those days, because it will help you. It will help you. Those are real life tips I'm giving you as a virtual assistant. It will help you. That's actually proven, for me, that's actually proven to be very, very effective. It has proven to be very, very effective for me. It comes in handy. You see, most of my things, I actually like to set them on my calendar. And I always give it, you will see me giving a 30 minutes reminder, 15 minutes reminder, 10 minutes reminder, because sometimes as a virtual assistant, you can be so worked out. Do you understand? You can be so worked out that you wouldn't even know that you set a meeting for. I think I had a meeting with a client on Sunday. And believe me, I did not know that it was Sunday. I went online. I went live on Saturday. And I'm like, oh, so the person has sent me a message that it's Sunday. I'm like, oh God, Sunday. Do you know what I just quickly do? I quickly set the calendar immediately. I had another meeting for Sunday. I forgot. So when I forgot, I was like, and the person called me and I was like, I just remembered that, oh my goodness, I had a meeting with this client. Do you know what I just did? I apologized. I told the person, okay, this is what happened. I sincerely just forgot that I'm going to reschedule the stuff. I said I was going to reschedule the meeting for next week. And what I did was immediately I said that I just took my phone, set a calendar. I did not just set calendar. I did not just only set calendar. I also set an alarm. It is that bad. Yeah, I actually did set an alarm too, because you can actually become so worked up. And if you understand anything called the Pomodoro technique, you want to set up your tasks as effective, more efficient, more less efficient or less effective, so that you know which one is going in first. Do you understand? You know which one are you taking in, which one are you doing. Do you understand? So basically, that's about it. You need to always set, aside to having it to do, set your calendar, because it will help you. Set your calendar, it will help you. So aside that, I would like to also discuss one of the things I have, to discuss with you people today is your client here, your client relationship management. And under that client relationship management, I'll be talking about the client onboarding essentials and how do you handle feedbacks and, revisions for your work. Now, this client relationship management is in different formats. It's in like a 4 breakdown. We have the pre-boarding, the onboarding, the post. So there are different steps as a virtual assistant for you to do to actually get this client. There are different steps. Do you understand? So the first one is for you to have a smooth onboarding experience. You need to set a stage you need to make sure that if you want to have a smooth business with a client, you want to make sure that this business that you're going into with this client, once the client tells you, oh yes, I would like to work with you. If you want to ensure that this business will go well, it will start with the onboarding process. Now, the onboarding process allows you to ask questions. It allows you to ask important questions. Do you understand? If you want to have a smooth onboarding experience, you need to make sure that you have to ask questions. You need to know what this client wants. How can I help you? Don't be shy to answer these questions. You might think that asking questions will make you look, less, or make you, how do I even put it? Make you feel that you don't know what you are doing. But it's a lie. It helps. Make sure that you ask questions. Make sure that you have a clear and transparent communication during the onboarding process. You can actually have there's something I call a beta test. You can have a link sent to the client to ask of their pain point. How can I help you? What is your problem? What is the problem that you encounter in your business? And how do you think that I can come in to assist you? When you're asking that, ask for your client's expectation. Ask them questions like, how do you want me to help you? What time will be comfortable for me to work with you? What services do you want me to offer? What are the project scope? Then after that, you can now talk about contracts. How do you sign contracts? What are the agreements? Because if you don't have a contract as a virtual assistant, you're on your own. I can assure you that you're on your own. So you must have, contract, so that contract will spell out the scope of your services, when you are doing it, what time you are supposed to resume, if it is hourly, if it is retainer. It must carry a lot of things, terms and conditions. And it must be written. Yes. It must be signed by both parties. I hope I've been able to explain the onboarding system. Now, how do you handle feedback? So, having a constructive feedback helps you to improve yourself, helps you to improve your work relation, your quality as, and even client satisfaction as a client, as a virtual assistant to your clients. So all you need to do and understand is that if I've worked for this client, once is maybe 1 month, or for me, I always have every Friday I have a meeting with my clients every Friday. So one of my clients is every Friday. The other one I do Saturday. Do you understand? So I do Saturday. It's more like a weekly reminder. Do you understand? It's more like a weekly reminder. Do you understand? So we schedule every Friday to talk about what I've done. It's like you're debriefing yourself. Do you understand? It's like a debrief. What have you done so far? How was it? So you just get feedbacks from the client, basically. You get feedback from the client, basically. Do you understand? So I would encourage that you always yearn for feedback from your client, because it helps you. It helps you work better. It helps you, create a positive attitude. It helps you address issues that you might know and you might not even know. Do you understand? So for me, I get my clients feedback Friday, Saturday, and then I work on it for the next week. You understand? I work on it, and it makes me a better person. Now, there's another thing I would like you to know about the life of a virtual assistant: self-care and work-life balance. See, as a virtual assistant, you can get burnout because you might want to get 5 clients at the same time and work different hours. You might want to work 2 a.m. with maybe somebody in California, or you might want to work with someone in UK or work in Nigeria with someone in Nigeria. So you're working around the time. You're working around the schedule. So make sure that you avoid burnout. Now, burnout is when you overstress yourself, overwork yourself. And as a virtual assistant, it can affect you. It affects virtual assistant who work remotely, works independently, because we're not checking time. We're working with time for clients, and we can work with like 5 clients. So if you work with this one for 2 hours, 2 to 5, 4, you work with this one 5 to this one, 9 to, you don't even know, you don't have time to rest. And some of the symptoms of this thing is you'll be tired, you have decreased motivation, your productivity level will just drop. So you need to know when to rest. And I also would like you as a virtual assistant, upcoming virtual assistant or virtual assistant, to be self-aware. You need to be self-aware. Do you understand? Aware of your well-being, recognize when you might be at risk. Take breaks. Take breaks. For example, I've been sitting down. I wish I can show you my leg. I'm on a bandage now. My legs, I had to go and massage it and bandage, and my back aches. And that's because I've been sitting down. So now what I do is once I sit down for like an hour, I stand up, I take a walk around the house. I come back and sit down. Because prior to this time, I can be in this my office space and just sit down. This is my room, my house, and my office space is at this corner. I can just stay here till God knows, till they beg me to stand up. And sometimes I forget to eat. Do you understand? So you need to be self-aware of that. You need to create boundaries. Take a break. If you need support, seek support. People in my paid groups, I seek support from them. If they don't have jobs, I give them my jobs to do, and I pay them. Do you understand? Some of them are interning for me. Immediately they finish training, they'll intern for me as a virtual assistant. See, I myself, I don't want to burn out, so I give it to them. So you need to maintain balance. You need to maintain an healthy work-life balance. It is very crucial for your long-term success and your well-being. You need to develop time management techniques because it will help you. So I'm going to reiterate on the significance of the effectiveness of time management and organization, because all these things helps you to prevent overwhelm. It helps you to prevent burnout. Take breaks. If it is short break, if it is long break, take a break. Stretch. Engage in physical activity during the day. You can take a walk down. Just take a walk and come back. Because if you don't take that walk, if you don't take that break, you will break down. If you don't take a break, you will break down. So set boundaries between your work and personal life. See, there's sometimes I'll just switch off my phone. My friends will call me and be like, I'm businesswoman. What they say is businesswoman where they off phone. And I'm like, businesswoman needs to rest. Businesswoman cannot come and die. So sometimes I put off my phone. Do you understand? Now I'm quickly going to just jump into, because I'm taking much of your time. So I'm quickly going to jump into, scaling your virtual assistant business. How do you scale it? You can scale it by doing what? Taking up, clients and handling their business, growing clients' business, because the more you grow client business, the more you grow your own. So you need to handle clients' business and projects in a responsible way. And there are different places where you can actually go and look for clients on LinkedIn, on Facebook, different places to get these clients. And look out for other VAs that are outsourcing for tax and ask them to, give you some to handle. be on social media. I cannot emphasize this thing. Be on social media. Go there and get these clients. Also, you also need to, aside from this one, you need to start advancing your skill as time goes on. Do you understand? Go on into the industry, look for what people are looking for, search for what people are looking for, and go and learn. So people are looking for web design, graphics, SEO, social media, go and learn something else and add it to your general administrative tasks. Become an expert in your niche. I'm going to reiterate on that. Become an expert in your niche, because once you do that, it will lead to high rates of demand and people will begin to outsource you. I only started as a admin person, and then I started learning, and people started looking for live streamer, people started looking for project managers, people started looking for human resource. And I'm telling you that I've been a virtual assistant for 5 years. In, I think, almost 1 year, when I introduced my, as when I was less than 5 months introducing my virtual assistant course, less than 5. All right, sorry about that. So I'm just going to implore you to keep learning. Keep learning. Do not stop learning. Keep learning. Do you understand? Because I'm just in space of 7 months when I introduced, what is 7 months? 5 months, space of 5 months when I introduced my human resource business. Immediately I graduated from Unilag, MSc in human resource. I started it. In 3 months, I got 4 clients. In 7 months, I was already working with 10. Now I'm a year in this business, and I've gotten so far, like go, come, up and down. I've gotten more than 15 clients. And for project management, I just started learning project management. And in space of 3 months, I've gotten a job as a program coordinator, a part-time job as a program coordinator. So keep learning. Start off with something small, but then grow. Start off with something small, like the admin that you're doing, whatever you're doing, start off with it, but then keep growing. I hope I've been able to, impact. I hope I've been able to, teach you just the basics of virtual assistant, and I hope you've learned something today. So this is time for questions. If you have any questions, I'm going to mute you and you can ask your questions. So you can ask your questions if you have any questions. I hope you guys are well clear, you understand, and you've learned something today.
Okay. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Sincerely, I want to appreciate you for the impactful knowledge, talking to the coach for today, Patience Moore.
Thank you.
Because coming to the session, I had some will I say, pre-knowledge about who a virtual assistant should be.
Okay.
Before I proceed, my name is Philip Ikumawe. I am a lawyer who specializes in debt recovery and receivership, and I do a bit of corporate and commercial practice. And one of the reasons I decided to join this session today is because I intend to to outsource a virtual assistant. And so it's my tradition that if I'm going to get someone to do certain things for me, I need to understand what the person is to do for me. And I think it is important that no matter how minute, how little, I should have little knowledge about who the rules and the duties of a virtual assistant. So I thought the best platform is to actually be part of today's session, and that's the reason I've come. But beyond what I had conceived, the way you have done justice to the topic, I now even realize that even myself, there are times that I undertake the job of a virtual assistant without me knowing. And how do I mean? Of course, you made us understand that a virtual assistant is an independent contractor with at least in my own world now, a skill or a service to render remotely. So the underlying word is that the person is working independently, is a professional person in his own right, and is working remotely. And so there are instances when a client will come in from even outside Nigeria, even within Nigeria, but outside Lagos, that, oh, please, can you help me incorporate a company and all of that? And everything that I will do for the person will be done online. I will be here in Lagos, he will be elsewhere. Everything that will be required to incorporate his company, he will send it maybe via email or WhatsApp. And when the certificate is ready, I will send the certificate via email to the person. So in a nutshell, what I've done properly fits into a virtual assistant. So that has actually broadened my knowledge of what a virtual assistant is really. And of course, I need not to ask again, but I want to ask maybe a validation from you that can that in actual sense fit into being a virtual assistant? I just need a validation, but of course I've said by my own understanding, it's a work of virtual assistant, but I need a validation that, oh, that is actually a virtual assistant. And when you try to break down further, what are the services? You talked about administrative, you talked about creative, and then you talked about technical service. So we can fit in that into technical service because the person for whom I undertook that job doesn't really know how to go about it. And so it is technical. But like I said, because you have been into you have been in the industry for a while, it is for you to still validate whether or not that is the work of virtual assistant. Now, my question, okay.
Definitely, now, it is.
Okay, then my question essentially is on time management. Management. I think you mentioned time management. You also talked about task management. If I got it correctly, you talked about time management, and then you talked about task management. And I know that parts or embedded in task management is time management. And then you now mentioned that it is important for us to avoid burning out.
Yes.
Yes. Now, and like from your own personal experience, you have talked about the need to, meet deadlines, and then where you have enormity of task with you, you have deployed every necessary tool that you think will be of assistance to you, and still it becomes so difficult for you to meet deadlines, maybe because of the load of work that you have.
Yeah.
And in fact, on my own part, is one of the reasons why I'm seeking out for a course like this. And in fact, I attempted to subscribe to the Chat GPT. I've just made a subscription to that so that at least it can ease my work a little bit more. But I find it very, very difficult, sincerely, to meet certain deadlines. I still find it very, and the implication in our own case, particularly when it has to do with filing of processes in court, is that when you fail to meet deadlines, there are penalties. There are penalties, which in our own case we call default fee. In Lagos, in Federal High Court, for example, if you are supposed to file an application, maybe you file a response to an application, and you default by just 1 day, it is 1,000 naira. If you default by 30 days, that is 30,000 naira. So how do I reconcile? Like, what do I do? How do I reconcile, having to handle as many work, as many tasks as possible, and at the same time being able to meet deadline? Because, like you have said, these are basic essential skills that a VS must possess. How do I reconcile meeting deadline and having to also, task on different jobs at the same time?
Well, like I said, I've given, there's some techniques that you can use. There are some tools that you can use as a lawyer. I've actually had friends that are lawyers, and I call them my virtual assistant lawyers, and they just laugh because they actually offer services remotely to clients. They run contracts, they do some of the things that you've mentioned. And if you really, it depends on the kind of job or task you do. So sometimes I will encourage that you outsource. So if there are too much for you to do, like I said during my own conversation, I outsource because I want to avoid burnout, or I don't want the client to be like, oh, I give you a task you could not do, so I outsource. Or you use the Podomoro's technique. So that technique helps you to look at all the jobs that you have, all the tasks that you have, and then start sorting which one is important, which one is less important. Do you understand? Which one do you need to tackle right now? So you can go and read more about the Pomodoro technique.
Please, can I have that maybe in the charts, or have it displayed on the screen? Pomodoro techniques. I'll be willing to take up that.
So you can use it, and it will actually assist you. Read about it. I'm trying to type it out. Read about it, and it actually would help you. All right. I think I've sent it. So it will help you to, align your tasks. Which one do you need to do now? Which one is important? And once you know how to time manage yourself, like I said, I wake up, I check my emails, I take my book, I use my book, I write, what do I need to do? So I look at which one is important, which one do I need to start now so that I can, finish, or maybe I can continue something else and come back to it. So I always have that written down, and I tackle, like today, I had different clients that needed content creation for an upcoming event. They need me to sell their events. They need me to, promote the event. They need me to virtually carry all the social media wahala. So I had to I was supposed to do it yesterday, but I got so tired because I had a speaking engagement yesterday. I came back pretty late from church. I had meetings upon meetings, even meetings that I forgot that I had. So when I came back, I wanted to do it. I started, but I noticed that I was not myself. What did I do? I shut my system and I went to sleep. Yes, I went to sleep because, like I said, check yourself, be self-aware about your body so that you don't break down. I went to sleep. I woke up this morning, did my devotion, stood up, checked my mail, took my book, and as usual, I wrote down what I needed to do. In fact, I wrote down what I needed to do yesterday. So if you see, if you can see, I don't know if you can see, I started ticking it. Which one am I doing first? So when I played around, normally you do research because what I needed to do was a research base. So after doing research A, research B for client A, client B, okay, which one? I noticed, okay, this one told me that they need it immediately. She needs, because we had a meeting yesterday, so I needed to submit it as of yesterday. But since I was tired, that was the first thing I did. And I submitted it. The second one I submitted it. The rest one was just community management, started answering questions, replying people. And I remember, in fact, I totally forgot that I need to go live. So it was around 4:30, I started setting up my live streaming to really go live. So it just in order, and you have to just look at which one is more important and do it. Which one will take up much of your time? If you know that this one is going to take up much of your time, you can shift it to a time when you can dedicate 5 hours for it. But which one is important? Because, and even in everything, you still need to deliver quality service. So you have to be very, very careful. How people have been able to answer that question?
Yes, that's indeed laudable. It's laudable.
And like I said, if you need a virtual assistant, I am still taking clients. I am still taking clients. Do you have any other questions for me?
The question that will come later will be how to get a good virtual assistant. Not immediately.
All right, no problem. No problem. I am still available for you. And my email is moonsvirtualassistant@gmail.com. My Instagram is @moonsvirtualgirl. And you can reach out to me on LinkedIn on Patience Moon. I'm fully available. I'm everywhere. All right, thank you so much for coming. I hope you really had a wonderful learning time, and I hope I was able to impact.
The session has been very wonderful, I must say. It has been very, very wonderful. It's at least I'm able to take something home today. I came here thinking that I'm a lawyer, but now I now know that I'm not just a lawyer, I'm also a virtual assistant. Yes. Yes.
I think that's what people do. But a lot of people do not know that they are actually virtual assistant. Virtual assistant is like a term name. It's just like you're a lawyer. But under law, there is I think there is
we do contracts. We do contracts.
Yeah, contract. There's people that do deal with land. Some people that do with
due diligence. We conduct search online and all of that. Yes.
But you are all still lawyers. So we are because we are freelancers. We work remotely with clients. We offer services. So somebody was asking me, comedians that do skits, are they virtual assistants? No, they are not. For me, they are not. I don't know about anybody, but for me, they are not. If you have a service to offer, if you have a skill, because most of these comedians, even their content, so it's most of them that write content and sell themselves. But what service do they have to offer? They are just called influencers. And most of them, it takes people like us that will now write this content or script for them to give them to come and even help us influence our businesses. So I call them influencers, not virtual. So it's a different ball.
That's correct.
Thank you so much for joining in, and it was really, it's really good to have you. I will still continue this tutorials. Like I said, I want to be intentional, and I want to make sure that probably in 2 weeks, every 2 weeks, I would pick up a topic under this, our business, and then talk about it. But people have to vote for it. I'll create a poll, people vote for it, and anyone that they want to listen to, I research and I teach them on it. So until I see you again, thank you guys for coming. Thank you so much. My name is Pregnant Smooth. I run Moon's Virtual Assistant, and I am a virtual girl anytime, any day. All right. Thank you so much and have a wonderful
thank you, Mr. Ayolu Adesanya. It's also nice to see you here.
Yes.
Even though, okay, let me show my face before I leave so that
I think I already know you.
I'm talking about the other person, Mr. Ayo. He's still there. Mr. Ayo is still there.
I don't think so.
Oh, he's not long. Yeah. Okay. All right. It's okay.
All right.
I'm actually preparing to go to the camp. So.
Okay. All right. Thank you for coming. I really appreciate you.
All right. Thank you. You're welcome.
All right. Bye.